Hello and welcome back to another episode of the DIYguy.net.
Today we're going to show you how to reset your TPMS light on your Nissan or Infiniti. I'm not sure what other model this will work for, so if you try it on your car and it works, let us know in the comments below. So the TPMS is a tire pressure monitoring system. Each wheel has a sensor in it that relays the information to the computer inside the car, monitoring the tire pressure, and then when it gets low enough, it'll kick the light on. A lot of people have that light come on when they actually switch over to their summer or winter wheels, as the car doesn't recognize those newer TPMS sensors that were just put on. So what you need to do is wake up and relearn and pair it with the car. In this case, we had a TPMS sensor get damaged while changing over to the snow tires, so we replaced it with a new one. So we need to wake that up and then pair it with the car, that we can get the TPMS light to go out in this vehicle. So we're going to do it with no tools. That way you can do it without going to a repair shop or to the dealer and getting charged. So we're going to show you how to reset or pair up your new TPMS sensors with your car to get the TPMS light to go out. Alright, so the first step is to set all the tire pressures differently at each tire. The left front needs to be set at 34 psi, the right front will be 31 psi, the right rear will be 29, and the left rear will be 26. Now why we're setting them at different PSIs is that way it'll tell the computer where the TPMS sensor is located on the car. So this is a very important step. Do not skip it. If you need those listings again, I'll have it on the website. You can click it and it'll tell you. So left front 34, right front 31, right rear 29, left rear 26. Like I said, get a good gauge and we can start setting the tire pressures.
Alright, we'll start with the left front. We'll go ahead and remove the valve stem cap, attach our tire gauge, and deflate it down to 34 psi. Once we get it down to 34 psi, we can reinstall that valve stem cap. And we'll go ahead and continue working our way around, putting each tire at the designated tire pressure. Alright, so we're moving on to the left rear. We're going to repeat the same process, remove our valve stem, attach our tire pressure gauge. We're going to deflate this one down to 26 psi. Once we get it down to 26 psi, we're going to go ahead and reinstall our valve stem and move on to the next one. Alright, next we're going to move on to the right front. We'll repeat the process, remove that valve stem cap, attach our tire pressure gauge. We're going to deflate this one down to 31 psi. Once we get it down to 31 psi, we're going to reinstall that valve stem cap and move on to the right rear. We'll repeat the same process, remove that valve stem cap, attach our tire pressure gauge. We're going to deflate this one down to 29 psi. Once we get this one down to 29 psi, we'll go ahead and reinstall our valve stem cap, and then we'll go back over to the driver's side of the car. Alright, now that we're on the driver's side, we're going to have to remove the lower kick plate or panel under the steering column. Sometimes you can get away with just removing the little flip down cubby hole or door or fuse box door. But in this case, we're going to take down the whole kick plate, that way you can see exactly which wire we're looking for.
What we're looking for here is this white one right here. It's this vehicle, it's actually taped to the OBD2 cord. That's the test port for the TPMS sensors. Sometimes it's easier just to pull it down anyway to give you a little more room. So what we need to do is pull that out. You'll see how there's only one wire going to it, but there's two ports in here. So you want to stick a paper clip or a metal object in there with the one with a little bit of metal in it. I'll move it closer so you can see. So in this particular plug, it's going to be the left side. So we're going to stick a paper clip in that, and then we'll go ahead and do the next step. Alright, so we have our paper clip stuck in. Like I said, make sure you're on the side with the metal in it, and make sure it's in enough where it's actually touching the metal. Now we can do the next step. The next step is to take the key and turn it to the on position. You're going to notice that your TPMS light is flashing. So what we're going to do is take this and touch it to ground 6 to 10 times until the light stays on constant. Alright, so we just did it. You'll see now the TPMS light is staying on constant. So what we're going to do is tap it one more time. Alright, so you'll see the light is blinking. That means it's in learn mode. What we're going to do now is drive the car for a few miles, and then the light should go out. It will come back on because we have that low tire pressure in here of 26, but then we should be able to fill the tires up to the proper air pressure, and the light should go out. So we're going to go ahead and start driving and see if we can get the light to go out. Alright, so we just started driving the car. The reason we set each tire at a different PSI is so the computer can tell which sensor it's talking to and the location of which tire it's actually mounted in. So like I said, we'll try to stay around 30 miles an hour. Alright, so our light just went steady. Now it just went out. So now we'll go ahead and head back to the shop and put the correct tire pressure in each tire. Alright, so when we were trying to program or make the sensors pair with the car, we went about 1.5 miles, at what point the light went out for the TPMS. We turned around, headed back to the shop, and we got halfway back to the shop and the light came on, which we knew it was going to, and stayed steady. That means we had low tire pressure, which we did, because we were at 26 PSI, which is well below the factory setting. So we got back to the shop, we filled them up with the correct PSI. This car, it's 33 PSI all the way around, front and back. If you need to know your correct tire pressure, it's located inside your door jamb. There should be a sticker. I'll show you right here. Correct tire pressure here inside your door jamb. So it goes front and back, 33 PSI. So now that the light's out, we can reinstall our cover. Push our connector back in. You want to slide it up. Then you want to get that little tab to lock in down there in the corner. See it right there, hook on, push down. And that's it. So once we got the correct tire pressure in it, we took it for a ride because it's not a new enough car to do the self-check. You got to go 2 minutes above 20 miles an hour. We went about 1/2 mile, and at which point the light went out. So the tire pressure monitoring system is all paired and the light is out on the dash. So we drove the 1/2 mile back to the shop. If you try it on yours, let us know which make and model it worked for. That's it. We just showed you how to reset the TPMS light for a Nissan or Infiniti.
Don't forget to click the link in the description, which will take you to our website for a full write-up. You can also click that subscribe button in the middle. On the right, we have a recommended video just for you. And on the left, you'll find our recent upload. Thanks for watching another episode of the DIYguy.net.